a bit closer again. Stunning. Oh, hey!
I said it.
Hi buddy, how are you? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Viltrox 85mm f1.4 lens. If you follow me and my work, you'll know that I love 85mm as a focal length. I'm always using it on a wedding day. 35mm on here, 85mm on here. But my lens up until now with the 85 has been the Sony 85mm 1.8. So to have 1.4 is very, very exciting. So let's crack on.
Firstly, I'd like to say a big thank you to Viltrox for sending me this lens to try. It's not often I say yes to brands who ask me to review their new products, but Viltrox are a very well-known company and they have an excellent reputation. So when they asked me if I'd be interested in trying their brand new 85mm 1.4 lens, I couldn't say no. This isn't going to be a typical review video, however. I won't be showing you diagrams and comparison graphs. That's not for me. Instead, you will see me using this lens on both a portrait shoot and a real wedding day. I did want to start this video, however, with me taking the lens out of the box for the first time, because when you do that, you can instantly see that this is a very well made professional lens. All the techie stuff though is on the screen now, because what I want to do is share with you how this lens performs on actual shoots when it really matters. So I'm now going to pass you over to me for a very windy shoot with my friend Olga.
I am joined today by the amazing Olga, and I need to apologise to Olga because it's very, very cold. You may recognise Olga from many of my videos. She is amazing to work with, and I'm really looking forward to this shoot. I did say that this is the first time I'm using this lens, but it's not. I first used this lens at a wedding 2 weeks ago where I was assisting my partner Helen Williams. So this video is very much going to be in two parts. The shoot that I'm going to do with Olga now, and at the end of the video I'm going to show you lots of behind the scenes from a real wedding day where I used the Viltrox 85mm f1.4 for documentary images. But for now I'm going to do a shoot with Olga. Every shot in this video is going to be taken, if I can get away with it, especially when it comes to off-camera flash, at f1.4, because if you have an f1.4 lens, you might as well shoot it wide open at f1.4, especially on an 85mm. So let's put my settings at 1.4, and my ISO is at 100, and shutter speed, I'm going to go to 800 for now. Gorgeous, Olga. You'll notice, well, I don't need to say anything to Olga, she just does her thing. Beautiful. That's really nice. Need to thank Olga as well, because we're not shooting bridal today. For a bit of a change, I said to Olga, if you've got your own dresses, please bring one, because sometimes it's just nice for a change. We'll go a bit further back. This lens has no trouble. What beautiful, Olga. That's really nice. Has no problem whatsoever focusing fast. It's gorgeous, beautiful. So obviously I'm shooting through this long grass in the foreground. Beautiful, Olga. Just because that gives really nice foreground bokeh. I'm going to come a bit closer now, but just looking through these, they are tack sharp. Okay, Olga, come a bit closer. Let's just waist up now, Olga, if that's all right. Beautiful. Look at that background. Beautiful, Olga. Perfect. Now it's worth mentioning that I've chosen this location for a reason. Olga is stood in shade, so she's not going to have any horrible light casting across her face from the front, but we've got really nice bokeh in the background because the light is hitting those leaves, and when that happens we get these little speckly bits that turn into really nice background, especially on a long focal length like 85mm, and especially when you're shooting wide open at f1.4. So let's take a couple more, then I'll use off-camera flash. Gorgeous. Yes, Olga. Let's go really close again. Beautiful. Just looking straight at me, please, Olga. Beautiful. Now I'm going to go really close into these images so you can see just how sharp the 85mm 1.4 is at 1.4. I think it's amazing, and it's very, very hard to think of anything negative to say about this lens. I love it. When you do review videos like this, you always want to say something a bit bad to make it a bit more realistic, but this lens is light, it's built like a tank, it goes to 1.4, it's quick to focus. It's hard to know what more you can want from a lens. So what I'm going to just do now is use off-camera flash. Not going to put anything behind Olga for now, but I have got an AD200 in the Magbox Pro 24. So in fact, I'll put you a little bit further back actually, Olga, sorry. I'm going to put you about there, please. I'm going to try and get away 1.4. I don't know if I'll be able to. So 1.4, let's put our ISO really low to 50. Try 800 with our shutter speed. Just a little test. Oh, that's nice. Beautiful, Olga. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Let's go back. I'm shooting through the long grass now. This lens is not struggling at all. Beautiful. They're gorgeous. Good. Can I go a bit closer again? Stunning. Oh, hey!
I said it.
Thank you, Olga.
Good.
Honestly, this weather. Let's go, go, go. Let's not scare it. Gorgeous, Olga. Just looking straight at me for these. It's just waist up. Beautiful. Again, notice the background. It looks stunning. That bokeh in the background. Really nice. Got to turn that speed light down a little bit to an 1/8 because the natural light is dropping. We don't need quite as much coming out of the speed light. Really nice. Love that. Stunning. Thank you very, very much. Massive thank you to Olga. Olga, you've been amazing in this video. As I'm sure you will now see, the shots that I've just been taken with the Viltrox 85mm 1.4 are really, really tack sharp. This lens has no problem focusing. It's really well built. As I say, I just don't know what else I can possibly say. Hopefully the images will do the talking. What I'm now going to do is show you how I use this lens on a real wedding day where I was second shooting for my partner Helen Williams. So let's go over to the wedding.
So I'm now going to show you lots of behind the scenes video and photographs from a real wedding. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, this was the very first time that I'd used the Viltrox 85mm f1.4 lens. I'd firstly like to say a massive thank you to my partner Helen Williams for inviting me to second shoot this incredible wedding with her. So this was not my wedding and I was not the primary photographer. I was second shooting this wedding, so my focus, pardon the pun, was very much on documentary images. So here is Helen, looking as happy and smiley as ever. And this is Jonathan and Nelly, a very good friend of mine and an incredible videographer. I actually photographed John's own wedding a few years ago. Now, in this video, you will see lots of Helen and John throughout the behind the scenes video because, like I say, this was their wedding. I was just there to help Helen. I want to just talk a little bit now about why I love 85mm as a focal length, because that was a big factor in me saying yes to reviewing this lens. So when I'm photographing weddings, I always have two cameras on me. The camera on my right side here will always be a wider lens like a 35mm or a 24mm, but the camera on my left hip, this one, is always an 85mm. I photograph weddings like this for over 10 years and for me it works really, really well, and I love the fact that my muscle memory means that I always know which lens is where. Now I do alternate which wide angle lens I use. Sometimes it's 35, sometimes it's 24, sometimes it's 16 to 35. But like I say, the camera on this side always has an 85mm on it. And for me, I see the camera with the wide lens on it, this one, as being my storytelling camera with a storytelling lens on it. The vast majority of photographs I take on a wedding day will be taken with the wider lens, usually a 35mm, because for me and my style, I like to get close to the action. The closer I am, the more emotional impact I believe my images have. But I love to complement those wider angle photographs with shots taken with the camera on the other side, the 85mm. Whereas I see the 35mm camera as my storytelling camera, the 85mm camera I see as being my creative camera. I love to use the 85mm camera and the 85mm lens for shooting through things and creating foreground and background bokeh. And because of this, I tend to have my 35mm camera around f4, that's a storytelling lens, but the aperture on my 85mm camera is almost always wide open. That is why I was so keen to try this lens, because I love wide aperture prime lenses. And for the past 6 years, my go-to 85mm lens has been this one, the Sony 85mm 1.8 lens. It's a great lens. It's done really, really well for me. It's very small, it's light, but it's not a 1.4 lens. When compared to the Sony 85mm 1.8 lens, the Viltrox lens feels much more robust. The Viltrox lens, as you can see here, is bigger and it's almost double the weight of the Sony lens as well. But it's not so big and heavy that it causes any problems. It feels great when you have it on your camera. And to be honest, it feels more professional and just better made. Whereas the Sony is made from mainly plastic, the Viltrox 85mm 1.4 is made from magnesium aluminium alloy. Sadly, I can't make the obvious comparison between this lens, the Viltrox 85mm 1.4, and the Sony G Master 85mm 1.4, as I haven't used the Sony G Master lens. Please just remember, I am an active wedding photographer. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, reviewer, anything like that. But I can tell you that the size and weight and the specs of the Viltrox lens are almost identical to the G Master 85mm, except the G Master is more than double the price of this lens.
Yeah, you're Beyonce and Jay-Z right now. Yeah.
Now, this is where it gets tricky, because as well as telling you what I like about the Viltrox lens, I also want to tell you what I don't like. But honestly, I don't know what there is to dislike. The Viltrox 85mm f1.4 is really fast to focus. The images, as you can see in this video, are really, really sharp, even at f1.4, and having used this twice now, it feels great to use. Plus, the bokeh which this lens produces, which is a big reason for buying this lens, is really, really beautiful. I honestly don't want this video to be only positive, but I don't know what more you could want from an 85mm lens. And when you add on to that, the fact that this lens is less than half the price of the obvious competition, which is the Sony 85mm 1.4 G Master, and it's a really brilliant option. So if you are looking to buy an 85mm 1.4 lens, This is great. I also had to include this clip. We'd arrived at the reception venue just a few seconds literally before the bride and groom, so I jumped out of the car whilst Helen went and parked up so that I could run down and photograph the couple arriving in their car. The reason I'm waving my arm in the air here is because I'm trying to ask Harriet to hold up her flowers. And then, this is the bit I love, John turned into Action Man to make sure that he didn't miss the arrival. Look at him go. Yeah. Yo, look at that. I've got that on video. And then, a few seconds later, after parking the car, Helen arrives at full speed too. Oh, come on, Helen. You got this. Feel the burn. Yes. Woo-hoo! As I mentioned earlier in the video, for me and my style, the vast majority of the photographs that I take at a wedding will be taken on this camera. In other words, the camera that has my 24 or 35mm lens on, and I will get really close to the action. I'm a firm believer that the closer you are to the action, the closer you are to all the people, the better your photographs will be. And you can see me doing that here. So when everything is as fun as this, my 85mm lens, this camera here, will take a back seat and I will shoot far more on my wider lens. But I wanted to include this clip to show you the reason why oftentimes I'm not using my 85, because I am so much closer to the action, too close for an 85mm, using this camera with a 24 or a 35mm on it. However, when it comes to the speeches, I do love to shoot on my 85mm camera again, so the Viltrox 1.4 came into its own during this time. I always like to shoot my photographs to have context, and with speeches, a great way to get context is to try and include both the speaker and the person you're focusing on in the frame at the same time. For me, this is what helps the photograph to tell the story of what is happening, and this is what I'm doing here, and the 85mm is perfect for this. And by shooting at 1.4, your eye goes straight to, in this example, the bride. As I spoke about earlier, and if you follow my channel and you know my work, you will already know this, I love to shoot through things to create foreground bokeh, and I do this a lot during speeches when I'm photographing people on the top table. And again, the 85mm shot wide open is perfect for this.
Although Mum insists that he was loved and well looked after, being accidentally left on a beach aged 2 suggests otherwise.
I'd again like to thank Viltrox for sending me the 85mm f1.4 lens. I've loved using it and I would not hesitate for a second to recommend it. I'd also like to thank Helen for inviting me to second shoot at her wedding with her, and of course to Olga for being such an amazing model. As always, if you have any questions about anything I've done in this video, please let me know in the comments. Thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you next time.